right, guys, I wanted to do a video here to talk about online advertising because it's something that a lot of people have asked me questions about. I do a lot of webinars and I get this topic a lot. Where should I throw my money, to get my agency leads and to build my business up? And the truth is, I am notoriously against big platform advertising for small resellers and for people who are just getting themselves started, particularly advertising on socials and sites like that. Just because I know a lot of smart people, right, guys? I know some people who are just really, really, incandescently bright. Okay. And I have witnessed them burn just tens of thousands of dollars on pay advertising on socials and sit there and grind like stump grinding to try to somehow turn this negative into a positive and just ultimately call it quits. And I've not just one person, I've seen a lot of people do this, particularly on Facebook advertising, but I've seen them do it on, other platforms as well, just all of them really. And so when people come to me and they say, hey, I've got a $10,000 a month budget or, whatever it is, should I throw this all in at Facebook or should I go and spend this on, this advertising platform or that? And I'm not going to slam anybody too much, but, they go ahead and they do this and they come up with just bupkis over and over again. And, or, they'll succeed, but it's like marginal. So where do I think you should throw money? Having warned you about that and having given you that, where should you throw money? Well, I'll tell you this, well-researched PPC can work, but you need to be careful about it. Right. And I mean, I'm not going to get into a whole PPC conversation here because that's an in-depth topic of its own. But when it comes to pay-per-click, you can go and you can throw $10,000 on a bunch of high comp keywords and burn through it in a week. Right. You can do that. Or you can go for a much broader set of keywords and that are more niche specific and, less high profile. And you can make that money last a very long time. So what I tell people is if you've got $10,000 a month budget, how about we make that $10,000 a 6-month budget and go for PPC, throw that money there, take the remainder 50,000 that would be spent in that time, save it and do your research and figure out what works. Figure it out. Go through the whole, arduous journey of going through PPC, figuring out which keywords are yielding you conversions, which keywords are not, what's a waste and what's not, and really take your time to go through that process if you're looking at pay advertising. However, you could take that same money and forget pay advertising. You could do direct marketing, right? You can go and you can, do lists, you can do cold calling, you can do a lot of different stuff to market your business more directly for a lot less money than that. You don't always have to go and spend tons and tons and tons of cash to get yourself results. You don't have to always go over the top. What you need to do is think of advertising like a long-term sort of like your business's immune system, right? It builds up over time. It's not something that day one, there's a magic bullet. You can just throw cash at a problem and turn profitable. You can't. You could go and spend $10,000 and come up with 5 leads. That's no good. You have to have the whole ecosystem tweaked, right? You have to, so start low dollar with the goal of experimentation, right? Go and put money at PPC, go and check out platforms like Outbrain and Taboola, right? That will go ahead and, you can look up what those are. Go and look at different programmatics, go and look at different, platforms, ad platforms. There's a lot of stuff that's out there that you can really look at, that you can check out and, analyze and figure out what works for what's going to work for you. Build yourself a plan. You've got to figure out where you're getting your traffic from. And then you have to figure out how to convert that traffic. A big mistake a lot of people make when it comes to this whole advertising discussion is they have big money. They have, maybe a beautiful looking site. They don't have any landers. They don't have any analytics. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just pumping traffic at a website that looks pretty. They end up not getting a lot of conversions and they blame the ad venue or they blame whoever they paid, but they don't look at themselves and say, hey, you need to have multiple pages. You need to have multiple places where you're pumping traffic to, and you need to work on conversions. You need to go and do stuff like that. You can't simply rely upon, this very simple, theory that your website is perfect and you're going to get leads that way. It's not going to work. So to make this, video short and sweet and to the point, I don't believe you should pump big money at pay advertising. I hate socials big time because I've never seen them work. Not for little guys anyway, maybe for big companies that are spending, millions of dollars. Maybe they work great. I have no idea. And I'm sure that someone's going to respond and say, hey, it worked great for me. And that's fine. If they did, more power to you, buddy. You won't have any competition in the ad space for me because I ain't buying no ad space on socials. Go out there, figure out what works for you. Remember, it's all part of a pipeline. The platform is going to get you the traffic if you pay for it. If PPC works or whatever works, work on conversions, work on getting your landing pages, do analytics, do split testing. Make sure that you go ahead and you look at everything and you put stuff into context and that you always are looking for improvement, incremental improvement. There's going to be no magic bullet to this. There's a lot of different marketing venues that are out there. Pay advertising is one of them. Is it effective? Sometimes. And if it's tuned right, I've seen PPC do wonders for people, but it took them a while to get it all set up and tweaked to perfection. It didn't happen overnight. It is not a case of just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. That's going to conclude this video. Just a short and sweet, warning on advertising, guys. So if you like this vid, you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, sub to the channel. We drop vids like this all the time, and I'll see you in the next one.